across the world, from Europe to Asia, from the burning deserts of the Middle East to the frozen mountains of Scandinavia. One creature has always haunted the human imagination: the dragon. Today, dragons feel like fantasy, movie monsters, children's story ornaments. But in the Middle Ages, dragons were taken as real. Why did people believe in them? And what did that belief have to do with the science of the time? Tonight, we step into a world where legend and learning walked side by side, where dragons stood not only for fear, but also for knowledge. Picture a village in medieval Europe. Night is truly dark. No electricity, only torchlight and candle flame. Forests are unknown, seas unmapped. Life is fragile, and the world is full of threats no one can explain. Storms, sickness, earthquakes, eclipses. In that uncertainty, dragon stories travel from mouth to mouth. Not just entertainment, but explanations. A huge bone unearthed in a field, a mountain erupting fire, a strange beast glimpsed at the tree line. Each becomes a sign. A dragon was here. Science then was not science now. Books of knowledge read like mythic encyclopedias. The bestiary, those medieval animal books, listed cats, dogs, and horses, but also unicorns, basilisks, and of course, dragons. To church scholars, the dragon proved God's sovereign power, an emblem of sin, greed, even the devil. To peasants, it was a flesh and blood threat, perhaps sleeping in a cave beyond the fields. And there was evidence. Massive bones, dinosaur or mammoth fossils turned up by the plow. With no concept of dinosaurs, one explanation made sense: dragon bones. Dragons were more than monsters. They were symbols. In Europe, they were the foe of saints and knights. Think of St. George and the dragon, an image of faith conquering darkness. Across East Asia, in China and Japan, dragons were revered, bringers of rain, symbols of wisdom and good fortune. The world believed in dragons, but the meanings diverged. For medieval thinkers, this symbolic richness connected nature, morality, and spirit. The dragon was not only a beast in the world, it was a metaphor for life itself. Imagine a 13th century farmer uncovering a vast skeleton, a long skull, sharp teeth. Without paleontology, the verdict feels obvious: a dragon. Real animals were misread too. Crocodiles brought from Africa became small dragons. Giant forest snakes, land dragons. Beached whales, sea dragons, recorded in fearful detail. Each mistake reinforced belief. Medieval learning lacked the tools to separate pattern from story, evidence from imagination. For some minds, the dragon was more than teeth and fire. It was a map marker for the unknown. On the edges of charts, unexplored places carried a warning and a dare. Here be dragons. The dragon named what we hadn't mastered, mysteries awaiting courage and method. In that sense, dragons fed curiosity, and curiosity slowly grew into modern science. So, did dragons ever exist? Scientifically, no. Not as legend paints them. Historically, yes, in a different way. In imagination, in manuscripts and murals, in sermons and dreams. And they live still, in films, novels, and games. From Game of Thrones to How to Train Your Dragon, the symbol endures. Born from medieval misreadings, sustained by our need for wonder. Why do people believe in dragons? Because dragons answered the unanswerable. They gathered our fears, our hopes, and our curiosity into one unforgettable shape. Behind the great wings, the iron scales, the breath of fire, the dragon is a mirror, showing us as we were, trying to make sense of a vast and perilous world with the knowledge we have. And perhaps that's why dragons never truly die. They will be with us as long as we keep seeking answers.